Hey everyone, happy Thursday. I hope that you guys are having a great week. I wanted to hop on here today because I just had such a great time the past 4 days. We decided really last minute. My sister had a baby June 22nd. Her name is Sloan Lennox, and she and her husband Mike has a family cabin up off of Cortez Island. It's on this little private island. There's no power. There's propane power, but there's no power, and we're off grid. And we went there for the last 4 days and got to just spend time not on our phones, present with our family, present with Izzy. And I think back, and I'm sure that our parents did this too. We think back to our childhood, and we think back to I definitely think back to all the things that I missed out on. I didn't go to Disneyland with my family. We had one family holiday. And the reason I talk about holidays is because that's when you make memories with your family, when you spend quality time, present in the moment, quality time with your kids. And we didn't go to Disneyland as a family. We had one holiday as a family. I was in grade 11. My sister was in grade 9. So we didn't travel together as a family. We didn't make those kind of memories. My mom was amazing at home. Like, we always did crafts and cooked with her, and she always spent a lot of time with us, but my dad was always working. And if you're anything like me, you grew up in a household where stability was key. Your dad probably was the breadwinner and worked really, really hard. Maybe your mom stayed home. Maybe she worked as well. But in our generation, we know that we have to have a dual income to live in Canada, to have a family, to be able to afford the things that we want to be able to give our kids. And growing up, I always envied the neighbors' kids. They got to go camping every summer together. Some families had cabins up the lake, and it wasn't that they had these prestigious things like tent trailers or cabins or cottages or anything like that. I was always envious of the time that they got to spend with their family making memories. And I always remember going up and seeing this beautiful family unit, where the parents are sitting there and they're having a good time, but everyone's around the campfire, everyone's playing games, or the kids are fishing and swimming. And it was just this like really beautiful life. But as a family, we didn't really have that. We did have a boat, and my dad would take us out fishing. We'd go up the coast once a week, but I remember that always being really stressful because my mom was scared of water, and so any rough water was really stressful on my mom. In turn, that was really stressful on us. So it was never the things that we wanted to do. It was never, I always wanted to go camping with my family. I always wanted to go and spend time with them and wished that we had a cottage or a cabin. And so the things that you'll find that the patterns that we come into as adults are usually to create an environment that's better for our kids, the things that we missed out on. And don't get me wrong, we had a mortgage-free house. My dad made great money. We had everything that we needed, but I remember being 13 or 14 going into public school after being in a uniform up until grade 8, going into high school, and I wanted a pair of Guess jeans. And my dad is like, there's no bloody way I'm paying $75 for a pair of Guess jeans. Like, you're going to get a job. So at 13 years old, I went and I lied because I think you had to be 14 or 15 to get a job. But I got a social insurance number and I lied and said that I was of age and got my first serving job at Mr. Mike's. And just, I knew that I had to start making money at a young age. I had a paper route for years. My mom always jokes that I was born an entrepreneur because I would make wax candles and go around literally with my red wagon trying to sell them to the neighbors to make money. Lemonade stands, we'd pick blackberries and sell them to the neighbors who were making blackberry wine. But we'd always be doing something. We'd always be up to something, creating some sort of income, or we'd be playing store with the kids next door. It was always that. And I thought that is probably where my entrepreneurial spirit was born when I was little. And I love that we get to be there with Izzy and infuse her with confidence, infuse her, we can tell her, different ideas and then ask what she thinks and be able to create this lifestyle and this, family unit that we grow together. We grow up together. We have this time that we get to spend. And in a world now where so many people, they have kids, they go back to work because they have to, they throw their kids in daycare because they have to, they don't have a choice. One of the most beautiful things for us was not having to put Izzy in daycare until she wanted to go, until she wanted to be with other kids. I didn't have to put her in at 8 months or a year. I think Izzy started going to daycare when she was just over 2 because she wanted to be around other kids. I think maybe even 2.5. And being away and being off grid for the last 4 days just made me realize the steps that we've taken to create this life, this freedom lifestyle where we don't have an alarm clock, where we decide what we want to do every single day, where we get to spend a ton of time together as a family. That wasn't by accident. That was consciously chosen. Ryan grew up with a single mom who was busy. His dad didn't live in the same town as him or same city as him. Grew up with a single mom who was in real estate, who was always really, really busy, just trying to make ends meet, and you crave that family desire, family unit, that not family desire, what's the word? That family relationship and how special it is that we can give it to our kids. And I really had a lot of time to reflect these last few days and just be really excited for the little performer that Izzy's becoming, to be able to take her fishing and go for look for crabs and show her sand dollars and to have the time to do that as a family, that I don't have to go and do that, or Ryan doesn't have to go and do that, but yet we get to do that as a family, everyone together. And I just recognize that we do now what we didn't have as kids, right? Hey, Ellen. Hey, Kate. How's it going? And see, Izzy gets to make cookies all the time. And it's the things that we take for granted in this world because with technology and how busy life is and everybody's working and kids are getting dropped off at daycare, that was never the life that I wanted. That was never, I didn't want to have kids and drop them off and get somebody else to raise them. That wasn't what I wanted. What I wanted was to be present. What I wanted was for my daughter to have a relationship with myself and my husband, and for it to be the same relationship, that she didn't pick one of us over the other, and that we were a family unit, that we lived out here on the farm and we spent time in the garden, and we spent time hiking together and out with the dogs and living outside of TV and screens and the busyness and the chaos. We stopped watching the news when we moved out here, which was one of the most beautiful things ever. We don't watch the news anymore. We used to watch it every single day. And then Ryan's like, it just stresses you out, all the bad things that are happening. And I felt like I had to watch it when I lived in the city because you never knew what was going on, if you needed to be aware of certain people that were being released into the city that you needed to know were there and be a little bit more cautious or whatever, right? There's just stuff that was going on that you had to know. But moving out here, we stopped watching the news. We started spending more time together as a family, and the change that we made in our lifestyle, being able to be at home and be present for her, most parents drop their kids off at daycare all day, and then they come home and they're so busy making dinner, and then the kids in the bathroom, and everything is so rushed, and there's no time to sit down and cuddle with them or read them a story or let them tell you a story, which is always really entertaining. And those are the moments that you miss out on. Those are the moments that we miss out on as parents if we don't start doing things differently. If we don't start taking advantages of opportunities that allow us to have our own time freedom and to spend more time with our kids. My dad was never at any of my concerts. I think he maybe made the Christmas concert once a year. Maybe. Probably not. But he was never at the festival when I was singing. He was rarely at my sister's soccer games on the weekends. He was just not able to be present because he was too busy working. And we didn't have the relationship with him that we could have because he was too busy working, but somebody had to work. And now with, the miraculous invention of the internet, we can work from anywhere. We can build a business from home on our laptops while our kids are in the other room. And then they come in. Sometimes she comes in when I'm doing a live video or a Zoom with our team, and she sits on my lap and she sees that I'm working, and then she goes back to what she's doing. Or I have the ability to take 15 minutes or 20 minutes away from this, spend totally present with her, giving her everything that she needs, and then go back to work. And that just wasn't there 10, 15 years ago. That opportunity wasn't there 10 or 15 years ago. And that's why I'm so passionate about what I do and the opportunity that I bring, especially to other moms that feels like they don't have a choice, that they have to go back to work, or that they have to leave their kids in somebody else's hands because they have to make more money and they have to survive. that's not what family was all about. That's not what it was about at all. And that's not why you want to have kids. It's you want to be present. You want to be there for them. You want to have these children that are infused with confidence and the belief system that they can do anything and overcome any obstacles, and that failure isn't bad, and that being creative is good, and being a critical thinker and problem solving and all of those things. Like, those are the kids that contribute positively to society when you can infuse them with confidence because you're being conscious as a parent. And you're being present as a parent. And again, that just wasn't possible when we were kids. So now that there are opportunities like that, and it's so new, we all went to school to get a degree and get a good job, and with healthcare and with a pension, those jobs don't exist anymore. So now we have the opportunity to create a life of freedom that we can be there, be present for our kids. We have a residual income that can pay our mortgage and pay any of our bills. We live debt free. We have enough money that we can put her in private school. All these things that people are struggling to make ends meet, and there's a solution out there. People just have to open up their minds and be open to doing something different, to pivoting. I keep reading this book. I've read it multiple times, but I read like a page a day, and it's called U Squared. And it's not about working harder. It's about pivoting and doing something different that is going to give you more leverage. Now, whether that leverage is time freedom or financial freedom or going debt free or being able to travel and work from anywhere, whatever that leverage is, that's what we get to do now so that we can live as a family, so that we can do the things that our parents couldn't do for us because they were too busy working, or they couldn't make enough money to make ends meet, or, we didn't get to have the time off to go on holidays or vacations in the summer because they couldn't get time off work. How many of you guys are out there that you just can't get the time off work? Or even I remember going on maternity leave and my clients saying to me, like, okay, but like you'll be back in like 6 weeks, right? So if I book my appointment like 6 weeks after you have your baby, where on the planet does it work that way? Like, people shouldn't have to go back to work 6 weeks after they have a baby. They should be able to infuse that child with love and confidence and courage and communication skills and everything that they have, because that's what matters. Not going back to a job. Just a job is simply how you make money. What you do for a living doesn't define you. It doesn't define you at all. The way you make money doesn't define you. It's who you become in the process. It's how you impact kids, family, people that are in your social circle. It's the mark that you leave on this world that matters. It's not how much money you make and the stuff that you buy, or how hard you're working when your family's at home missing you and you're never spending any time with them. Like, that's not what life is about. And that's not what I believe life is about. And I know that there's so many people out here that need to hear this, that there is another way. There's another opportunity. You don't have to drop your kids off at daycare. You don't have to drop your kids off to childminding and go to work every day. Like, you can find a solution if that's what you value. If that's what you value. If you love a set schedule, day in, day out, you love knowing what you're going to get paid, you love knowing that you've got 2 weeks holiday every year, you love that you've got healthcare and all the health benefits, and that's wonderful. But there's a different way of doing life now. There's a different way of living. And I think so many people need to wake up and realize that if they don't start looking for different opportunities, that the job that they have may become obsolete. What you're doing right now may become obsolete. Something may come up that you may lose that job. I've watched friends lose jobs over the last few years, been absolutely blindsided by things that they could not have foreseen coming. And I think that could happen anywhere. So, learning new skills, figuring out how you can leverage online opportunities so that you can make money, or different streams of income. Maybe you have rental properties, maybe you have brick and mortar business, maybe you have online business, maybe you have a plethora of ways that you're making money. But there's no one right way to do things. And I think having time freedom to be able to spend it with your kids and be able to do things like go away for 4 days and be off grid in the middle of the week. We have big goals to purchase a cabin on the lake half an hour from us, because we know that we want to be those parents that have kids at our place. We know that we want to be the parents that are sitting around the campfire and we get to have those in-depth conversations with our kid. Like, that's the kind of parents that we want to be. We want to be involved. until she doesn't want us involved anymore, right? But if we have all the cool stuff, then at least she'll bring her friends over. At least she'll bring the kids to the cabin and we'll spend more time with her that way. And we focus on the wrong things, right? We focus on the things that don't really mean anything. And after these last 4 days with family, it was just so special. It was so special to have the time and the freedom to be able to pick up and go and stay and not care when we come home and not have to worry about what's waiting for us on the other side. And I just want you guys to know that there are options. There are options. It may or may not be for you. You may be really happy with where you are, and I'm so grateful that you found what you love, but there are options for those of you that aren't happy. There are options for you to change the way that things are. Our life has done a 180 in the last 3 years. We are living a completely different life that we would be living in the city. And I'm forever grateful that somebody asked me. I'm forever grateful that I get to provide other people with this opportunity and other people that I get to watch them grow and them turn into entrepreneurs and small business owners, and they create this life of freedom with their kids and their family. And I think it's a ripple effect, right? Like when you teach people how to do this, they teach other people, and then they teach other people, and there's this massive ripple effect. And again, how we make money, how we do business, all those things are changing very, very quickly. So what are you going to do to keep up with the times? What are you going to do to gain some leverage so you can spend more time with doing the things that you love, or spending more time with your friends and family, or your kids, or traveling, or whatever it is you're passionate about, because life is too damn short. Life is too damn short to let it pass you by and think that I'll just work a year in this job. I'll just continue to work another couple of years in this job. I'll figure it out later. There's no figuring out later. You got to figure it out now, because life is way, 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 way too short. Hope you guys found a little bit of value in that. I hope that you are seeking a life that you are absolutely in love with, that you don't need a vacation from, because it's fully available to you. If you're telling yourself, I could never do that, I could never live like that, I wish, stop wishing and start taking action. Start asking questions to people that you want to be like. Start, researching. You can learn anything. You can learn how to do anything. So start doing the things that are going to make you happy. Start doing the things that are going to make your kids happy, your husband happy, your wife happy, your friends happy, your family. Start showing up differently and start being more valuable to other people and being of service to them and helping them improve their lives too. And that's where the magic happens. Don't be a blockbuster in an era of Netflix. That's all I gotta say. Hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye.